Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. Happy humble Easter. So I'm on my week straight of posting a video a day, and I just thought that I would pause and just really kind of mention that I'm really grateful for everything I have here with, not only in my life, but this YouTube channel is really awesome. And I always want to make sure that I take a moment to check in with who I am. And I think it's kind of an important thing to do, no matter who you are, is to never forget where you came from. And I keep this, I've actually mentioned this in a video before, this J.C. Whitney catalog is something that it means a lot to me because, I remember back being 10, 12, 13 in those ranges. Actually, here we go, perfect. Seeing stuff like this old 1997 Chevy. Seeing things like this pickup truck and thinking man, it'd be so cool to modify a vehicle like that. And came from an upbringing where that was really a pipe dream. There wasn't any money floating around or I don't know, just the idea of being able to build a project car was really not a real thing. For me, it was like watching my father go from $500 car to $500 car, just trying to keep them running. And then when they couldn't run anymore, just going to the swap sheet, the penny saver, or whatever it was, and buying the next car to kind of keep going down the road. And, I always wanted to have an outlet for wrenching because growing up, I used to watch my dad wrench on these cars all the time, help him where I could. And I don't know, it's just something that was a real soft spot for me. So, as I started getting older, luckily for me, it was kind of a combination of luck and hard work. I did my life the hard way. I didn't do the traditional go to school for what you want to do and then come out and get a job in that field and work there until you retire. I did life the hard way. I managed to get into construction, made decent money, made a good name for myself, built up a pretty good career, would jump from one job to the next to make more money. And, I always kind of viewed my adult life as you got to make money to pay the bills. And it wasn't until I was in my early 30s where this YouTube thing kind of creeped into my life. I didn't really watch a lot of YouTube, but I mentioned this in one of my videos this week. I was exposed to a story from Saab Kyle.
But the folks at YouTube started selling ads with his reviews.
As the name suggests, the Gran Turismo is known as a touring car.
Now his part-time hobby pays him 6 figures.
When I was oh, all of these older ambitions that I had when I was younger, this J.C. Whitney catalog, laying in my bunk bed, looking through these catalogs for no reason. When this YouTube channel kind of started growing, I made a bunch of different pivots. I started with tech content and then just realized I love tech. It's a huge part of my life, but it wasn't a real passion. And then I pivoted to my truck, started doing stuff with the truck, loved that. Bought my motorcycle, loved that. Now I've got this Razor sitting behind the camera here. Love that. Probably going to buy one at some point because absolutely love them. That is a press Razor. Just everything that this channel has got me to experience. I just was at a track with Kumho Tires, 2 weeks ago, racing a Porsche GT3 RS around a track. It really makes me feel like an imposter, where it's man, why am I getting to do this stuff? But, I just, again, want to just stop and say that I am very humbled by this, almost to the point where, a lot of these press people who have met me at these events will attest to the fact that I always introduce myself. I'll be out at these events with these people who are affiliated with these giant magazines or giant, automotive outlets. And I'm just a guy who fired up a camera, and it makes me feel like an imposter. And I'll introduce myself and say like, hey, I'm Dan. And they go, oh, who are you with? And I never know how to answer that question. It's like, I'm just with me. I just Dan with Gears and Gadgets. I'm just an idiot with a camera with a YouTube channel. It's not because of like, I don't feel like I belong there. It just feels, I don't know. It feels weird. And again, it just comes down to being humble about where I come from, having these experiences that are just like, it doesn't happen by accident. There's a lot of hard work that gets me to be in those kinds of situations. There's a lot of meeting the right people. I could go down a whole list of people who have really helped this channel grow, but that would be an entire video in and of itself. But there's a lot of people who you meet over the years, you develop these great relationships with, maintain these relationships, and just continue building something that just seems surreal at times. So I was out with a buddy last night. We went to a fight. Trini Ochoa, I'll insert a clip here.
Declaring your winner by split decision, and still
He defended his championship last night, which was awesome to see. But I was there with a buddy who's related to this guy. And we were talking, and he mentioned when he met me years ago, and I mentioned that I had a YouTube channel, where he was like, oh, big deal. Anybody can start a YouTube channel, which is true. You can and should if it's something you're interested in. And, that's, I think, where I think I tend to fall back to that, where it's like, yeah, anybody could start. There's nothing exclusive or really all that inherently cool about saying I have a YouTube channel. But he had said like, well, he knew it was different when I started showing up to the office in like press vehicles, whether it was a slingshot or the Harley Davidson live wire that I had, the electric bike, just like random things where he's like, how do you have that? Oh, company sent them out to me. And it's like, oh, that's it. You get to this point where people start going like, oh, you don't just have like a YouTube channel, like you're kind of doing it legit. And I think that's kind of the humble part of this is I still feel like that guy who just picked up a camera and I don't know, it's really, really interesting. I guess what I'm trying to say is I've had the unfortunate displeasure of working with some really entitled jerks in my time. I don't know, you meet these people that are like spoiled, entitled, and I hate that. And I never want to be that. You're never going to avoid it. There's going to be people like that all the time. And I think we all have a sense of that a little bit of like probably having our own little moments of like being entitled. And I don't know, just something I really strive to not be that. And I think on this Easter Sunday, I just wanted to come out and let you guys know that I really take this YouTube thing like seriously. This video a day that I'm trying to do, I know the hard work and dedication that I put into building this thing, and I want to start taking it more seriously in terms of getting those numbers to where I think they should be, and at some point probably pivoting towards a schedule of videos where I'm trying to get like, I don't know, maybe like 3 videos out a week, which I think is probably more healthy than the daily video grind. But the daily video grind for me, what I've learned in this past week is it's challenging me to stop spending so much time trying to get something to be like the perfect version of what I can do and focus more on just being me on camera, which I think is what YouTube is all about, and focus more again on this kid who, if I could tell myself back then that I would have any of this stuff in a garage, wrenching on, it's really wild. I'm really getting to kind of live out a bit of a unrealized childhood dream that I think I almost accidentally brought myself back to. YouTube was built for me as a bridge out of a career. It ended up bridging me back into really feeling like I'm connected with who I initially was meant to be from the jump. So, when I'm out there racing around a Porsche, which, God, I hope I get to do more of that kind of stuff because it is so much fun. The video did not perform well. If you're watching this video, please go check that. It's like, I know that people don't want to just watch me get to do really cool things, but that was a video where it was like, I don't know. I wish that video was performing better because not only because Kumo flew me out there and it was super cool to be a part of, but also because like, that's the kind of content I want to share with you guys is like none of this, I don't feel entitled to any of it. I'm incredibly grateful and I really appreciate the support you guys have shown for this channel. And I'm excited to see where it can go. And I'm just going to start putting in that work to get it where I think it should be. So with that said, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Happy Easter. I've got a busy week ahead of me. I got to get the bike up on the lift and start to tear that front tire apart. I got to swap that tire and tube. It's overdue based on age. I got to get my Brannick 7600 spring compressor up, mounted on the wall, get my truck in here, do some stuff with the truck. I'm going to come out with a video on miles per gallon on the 2024 GMC Sierra, which I have some staggering results on that, and some other things I got to do around here too. So busy week coming up for me. Hope you guys are enjoying your Easter. With that said, I will see you guys next time.